Okay, full disclosures, me and Tyler,
Mhm.
we really thought about things because we go on here and we talk about Brock every week, but then like, what about other quarterbacks who struggle? Brock's not the
Yeah.
only one having issues, and as we all saw on Thanksgiving evening, Lamar Jackson really, really melted down. 3 picks, hasn't been playing super well since he came back from his injury, and a lot of people took time took time away from their families. Said,
Yep.
"Go away, little son, child, daughter, wife of mine. I need to tweet about Brock Purdy." And they said, "You know what? How come Lamar doesn't get the same kind of discourse that Brock gets?" What do
Yeah.
you think, man? Should we be talking about benching Lamar Jackson right now? Are we too hard on Brock Purdy?
Yeah, so I got a lot of tweets like that actually from a lot of my, supporters. And one, I've never thought Lamar Jackson was an elite passer. But two, yeah, I mean Lamar Jackson's a dual threat quarterback, and he's not that good of a football thrower if he can't run the ball. And he can't run the ball. And Brock Purdy's 10-yard split is faster than Lamar Jackson.
As
So
we all know.
they're pretty similar in scrambling ability. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't think we're too hard on Brock. I think the difference is Lamar Jackson has two, should have been three MVPs, depending on who you ask. I think it was a good two. But yeah, he has two MVPs. He doesn't have a Kyle Shanahan. He doesn't have a George Kittle. He didn't have like four skill position all pros. Um, so no, I don't think we're too harsh on Brock Purdy. If anything, I think we need to be harsher on Brock Purdy because he gets paid. Doesn't he get paid almost more than Lamar Jackson at this point?
I think he does. And to me,
Yeah,
like, these are not congruent situations.
I
If
agree.
the if they're very similar situations in the sense that both guys got hurt, went down,
Yep.
and really like neither one looks ready to play right now. Like Lamar isn't playing well.
No, he's been
He's not
bad.
as fast as he was before the injury. They don't even run him anymore, and his completion percentage is way lower than it normally would be. And he's turning the ball over. So if but like two different things happened when he went down and Purdy went down. When he went down, the Ravens season tanked.
Hmm.
And when Brock went down, Mac Jones emerged and was way better than people expected, even the 49ers, and they were 5-3, and they didn't have to go back to Brock Purdy. Like the Ravens were desperate and went
Yeah,
back to Lamar because they felt that their season was like almost over. Maybe they should go to Tyler Huntley, but he's not that good. They're four and
he's
six with him.
horrible. Yeah.
If they had Mac Jones, you could argue like, well, why are you rushing back Lamar? He's clearly not healthy. You'd have that conversation, but that's not the situation in Baltimore. That's the situation with the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, the major difference is there's a huge drop off in quarterback play from Lamar Jackson to his backups.
Yeah,
There isn't with Brock. There just
no,
isn't. Like yeah, like you said, Lamar got hurt, their offense floundered, and then Brock Purdy gets hurt and a QB controversy starts. That's two
yes,
completely different situations.
yes.
Like, and I mean, I think everyone can tell like this year. It's so obvious. Like, uh Brock Purdy, I think everyone knows, including the 49ers, including the biggest Brock Purdy supporters, he should not have gotten that contract. He is very overpaid. He is not that good. He's just not. Like, I saw someone tweet, like, do we think Brock Purdy's gonna have more games like he did against the Panthers? And I was like, yes. Four of his or three of his four games, four of his five games he's played are the same thing that he did against the Panthers. Like last season was a lot of what he did against the Panthers. He is that quarterback. There was a PFF or someone that makes charts just posted a chart of like hero throw percentage and turnover worthy play rate. Brock Purdy has one of the worst, like least hero throw percentages. So he's not making like these crazy hero plays. And he has the second highest turnover worthy throw percentage in the
It's
NFL.
like him and what?
JJ
Mac,
McCarthy
JJ
and
McCarthy.
Jameis Winston.
Yep. Yes.
So two of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL with Brock Purdy.
Like he's
And
better than JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy like runs into sacks and doesn't
yeah,
complete a high
JJ's
percentage of
horrible.
passes. But like the turnovers, man. I mean, I think you can't justify it. He's hurt. It's easy to say, you know what? It's just he's not 100% healthy right now, and can't like the whole point to bring him back was that although Mac was being efficient, he wasn't pressing the ball down the field, and they weren't scoring as many points as they could be. Well, whenever Brock tries to push the ball down the field this season, he gets picked. It's not working. If you look at their numbers, Mac has a higher completion percentage. Mac has a higher yards per attempt, or it's close. I mean, it's like pretty much identical, 7.5 or something like
Yeah.
that. And Mac's not turning the ball over a lot, and Brock is. So it doesn't seem like, I mean, there's data. You're
Yeah.
not better with Brock right now. And I'm not
Yep.
saying that Brock needs to be benched or he's not a starting caliber quarterback. He's just hurt, and you don't have to force this transition. And we all know why the Niners are. There's one reason.
Oh yeah, I mean they have to. Like literally exactly what Joe Burrow said. Getting paid a lot of money to play football. I have to
Mhm,
play football. That's my
mhm,
job.
mhm.
It's the same with Brock Purdy. You are getting a lot of money to play football, and for the money you and your agent demanded, you are not performing up to that. I would not. I would expect a quarterback getting paid that money to still be good while hurt, and you are horrible.
Can we talk about something though? Because we pile on Brock, and he deserves it with the money
Yes,
he
he
gets
does.
paid. But like, it's not all him; it's the organization too. They're the
For
ones that
sure.
decided to pay him, and they're the
Yep.
ones that like charted out this ridiculous recovery from this turf toe. So let's compare the 49ers, who are seen as a top tier organization in
Yep.
football, to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are looked at as one of the worst, a bottom tier
Mhm.
organization in football.
Mhm.
So both guys have quote unquote franchise quarterbacks, although I think we both think that Joe Burrow's a lot better. They
Yeah.
both go down with the same injury about the same week,
Yep.
close. The Bengals shut him down, let him have surgery. There is no uh, setbacks.
Yeah.
They're just very cautious. So when he comes back, he looks like Joe Burrow again. He throws 2 touchdowns, no picks. He looks pretty good. Although it's only been 1 game, we'll see how it
And
goes.
he
He
still
wins.
has, he still doesn't have mobility. But again, that's where it comes into Joe Burrow's an actual franchise
But
quarterback.
the
Purdy.
Niners,
Yeah.
they didn't shut him down. They brought him back 2 weeks later. They were surprised that he didn't look good. They shut him down again. They don't put him on IR. When he comes back, he looks good against the Cardinals, but not good against the Panthers. He can't drive the ball down the field. It seems like there's lingering effects
Yeah.
where didn't see that with Joe Burrow. You don't think of the Bengals being more competent than the Niners, but with this position and this injury, how else can you interpret it?
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. I have said this for so long now. I think our front office is genuinely one of the worst front offices in football. They are saved because they have Kyle Shanahan and because they drafted George Kittle and Fred Warner. Because if you ask anyone, what has John Lynch done? Well, he drafted Kittle and Fred Warner. I'm not giving him credit for Nick Bosa. Literally, a blind monkey would have made that pick. It was just the most obvious pick to make. Um, like those are the 2 picks that had them saved. But this is what I'm saying. Balky drafted top tier players. He drafted players that were some of the best at their position. He has a roster that went to a Super Bowl. So I don't understand why John Lynch is getting all this like wiggle room when it's like this contract is obviously terrible. The way they've been handling injuries with BA and Purdy have been awful. Like
Mhm.
Kyle literally said, "Oh, with the BA situation, I'm just a coach, dude. I don't even deal with that." Like Kyle's even throwing them under the bus. Like
I mean,
I don't.
we talk about the contract so much, but I think it's fair to talk about how they've handled the injury. That might be even a bigger issue
Yes.
because again, look at how the Bengals handled it with Burrow. They were cautious. They shut him down. He had surgery. When he came back, he seemed ready. It seemed like it's behind him, which is a big deal because a lot of people talk about how turf toe can linger for a very long
Yeah.
time. The Niners weren't cautious. They brought him back. He re-injured it. He brought him back again, and he's still clearly limited. I mean, now you're wondering, like, when is this gonna go away? Will it ever go away? Will this constantly limit him?
No,
If you
that's
really valued him the way the Bengals value Joe Burrow, you wouldn't let this shit happen.
and that Purdy even said it in his presser. Oh, this is something that's just that like won't go away. Which Joe Burrow at least looks like he's getting better.
Yep.
Brock Purdy looks bad. Like he looks like a bad quarterback.
He doesn't look like Brock Purdy.
I don't care what people say about the Cardinals, dude. The Cardinals had a 4th string secondary. They suck. We were winning that game with Adrian Martinez if he had to play. Brock doesn't look good. Like he had that one scramble where I was like, oh, okay, there's that little burst he had, but then it looked like that re-aggravated it. And it was like,
And he can't throw down the field. There's nothing
No,
on
he
his
has
throws.
nothing. He
1,
has
he
nothing.
has nothing on his throws. 2, he doesn't trust his wide receivers, which maybe he shouldn't, and he's not throwing with anticipation. So he's throwing these balloons over the middle of the field, 15, 20 yards deep. Like, that's pick city. Can't throw that right now. When he had Brandon Ayuk, he could do that because Brandon Ayuk is one of the better wide receivers in the league, and he could get open down the field, and Brock could throw the ball with anticipation and trust that he'd get open and be there. Can't do that with Ricky.
Well, and here's the
Can't do
thing
that with
too
Juwan.
with Brock, right? So Rich posted like some film where teams, even last year, started getting on this Brock's a floater. Because as much as people want to deny it, Brock was throwing floaters last year too. Um, Teams are starting to bait him in the middle of the field with those
Mhm,
deep digs and those deep crossers, and they're just kind of
mhm,
sitting off it to make it look open.
mhm,
And the issue is his anticipation's gone. He has like
mhm,
none anymore. And I don't
mhm.
know if that's a confidence thing from the injury, if that's a confidence thing from last year, because he was still bad at it last year, or what it is.
I
But
feel like the only one that seems to think that it's a Brandon Ayuk thing. Like, when did he throw with anticipation? Not in 2024. Not tw It was 2022 and 2023. Who was balling those years? Ayuk?
and Debo.
Yeah.
Debo in 2022.
Yeah, but Debo balls in a certain way. Like, you get him the ball
Yeah.
behind the line of scrimmage or on a quick screen, and
No, I
he
agree with
breaks
you.
tackles. Like, what's supposed to make Brock special, right, is that he pushes the ball down the field. Even though he has a weak arm, quote unquote, like, he sees himself as a gunslinger, Kurt Warner type of quarterback. Well, you can't be that type of quarterback if your wide receivers aren't good. If all you have is a running back and a tight end, what you're gonna
No.
do is throw some picks and then feel hesitant when Ricky's making that break, because
Yeah.
who the hell knows where Ricky's gonna be or if he's gonna catch the ball.
And that was the thing, right? Is that dig, right? The dig that floated over the middle that everyone's like, it was a crazy play by JC Horn. It was, but also if that was Mac Jones, the ball's a completion. Because he would have been able to fit the ball in there before Horn could even get there.
Well, Mac Jones gets rid of the ball way quicker. Mac Jones does throw the ball with anticipation, and Brock Purdy has become this guy who hitches, scrambles, tries to make a play, and I mean, again, it's like Lamar Jackson. You're hurt trying to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not going well. And the Niners didn't have to make this transition, and they're doing it for the wrong reasons, not because it's the right, it gives them the best chance to win. And it didn't cost them against Carolina. Like, all this hand wringing, ultimately, who gives a shit? They won the game. And if
Mhm.
Brock Purdy improves and stops throwing picks, then maybe Kyle and the Niners were right to play him so he could get through the rust and whatever. But if he keeps throwing picks like he's been,
He's
and they
going
lose a game
to.
that they should win, that they would have won with Mac, and they ultimately miss the playoffs, I mean, there should be hell to pay for that.
And he's going to. Like everyone keeps saying, like, oh, what if? Dude, this dude has made bad decisions even when he was at his peak. At his peak, you'd see it. It was like Darnold's issue coming out of college, where it was like he could play great, but like he's throwing one to the defense. Like he's throwing a handful of them. Purdy's the same way with way less upside. Every game he's throwing something to the defense. It's just, are they going to catch it? 2022, 2023, you had Debo and Kittle playing SWAT team. Do you remember in 2023 in the playoffs where Brock threw a pick, Kittle swatted it, and then did the seatbelt like he was a DB?
Mhm.
Like he did like that celebration, but that's what Brock does. Like he hasn't ever really been a good decision maker. He's had really good players around
And what
him.
he's been is he's been extremely aggressive, letting it rip down the field.
Yes.
And that's gonna lead to interceptions. But when he had Ayuk and Debo, as well as McCaffrey and Kittle, it led to a lot of touchdowns and big plays,
Yeah.
and you'll take that. You know what I mean? That's the Kurt Warner experience. You might be a little young to actually remember what the greatest show on turf was like, but Kurt
Yeah.
Warner, I mean, he lit it up. He always threw a lot of picks, but he
He
lit
also
it
had
up really.
injury issues.
What I'm saying is, like, why so Kurt Warner always goes to bat for Brock, and he's like, "Look, man, Brock plays like I played. I like Brock." Okay, fair enough. But what happened to Kurt Warner on the Rams? He threw so many picks that he eventually got replaced by Mark Bulger, and then he went to the Giants and wasn't good because they didn't have Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, and Eli Manning took his job, and then he went to the Cardinals and was solid because he had Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden in their prime. So if you can give Brock Purdy 2 elite wide receivers, he's gonna be good, but you can't afford to do that because you gave him $53 million a year. That's what happened.
And that was my whole problem. That's my whole problem with them causing drama with Brandon Ayuk, because Brock Purdy is not good enough without having a lot of all pros. And it's not like a lot of people are trying to compare him to Joe Burrow. No, even if you gave Brock Purdy if you put Brock Purdy on the Bengals, he would be horrible, because he doesn't need two. He needs a great coach. He needs a good running back. He needs a good tight end. He needs everyone to be good. It's not like, oh, he can have a couple good pieces. He has a couple good pieces. He has the best tight end in the NFL and the best running back in the NFL, and he still sucks. He has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, just at different positions.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think that what he wants to do is throw the ball 15, 20 yards down the field in maybe ways that Mac doesn't. Like, he wants to do that. And if you're going to do that, you need Chase and Higgins. You need Pickens and Lamb. You need Ayuk and Debo. And Pearsall and Jennings isn't it.
No.
So, I mean, that's why Mac was throwing. It's like Mac isn't being aggressive. Who the fuck is he supposed to throw the ball down the field to? Oh, Brock, you replace Mac. Show him how it's done. Okay, now you're forcing it down the field to Jawan Jennings. That's smart. What happened? Oh, you got picked.
Every time
to Ricky, what happened? Oh, you got picked again. How many more times are you going to keep trying that before you? In the second half, he just played like Mac. He just played like Mac in the second half.
And every time Mac did have a big play, Demarcus Robinson or Juwan Jennings dropped the damn football. They just dropped it every time he had a deep ball, which is funny when everyone calls him a check down merchant, because every time you have so many clips of it hitting Demarcus Robinson in the bucket for a walk-in touchdown, and he just drops it. It's like,
you think if Mac Jones were the quarterback on the Bengals and he had T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, he wouldn't be throwing it down the field? Of course he would be, dude.
Yeah.
He would. Brock would. Anyone would. But you don't have that team right now.
Yeah.
And why? Because of this stupid contract, which you didn't have to give. It's not like he was going to be a free agent. Propa says, imagine if the Niners traded for Quinn Williams and a pass rusher, they'd have a chance to win it all. It changed the Cowboys season. Credit to Jerry.
Honestly, yeah. Imagine if the 49ers had Dak Prescott. It would change the 49ers season having an actual quarterback.
Or having George Pickens instead of Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, could you imagine George Pickens dealing with this front office? He'd burn the building down.
That's a good point. It wouldn't work, but
it would not work.
Like, Dallas has made some incredible moves to put themselves in contention, where the Niners would have, in their shoes, been like, it's not our year. It's not our year. Forget it. Bill Kennedy says, how could the Niners get a home playoff game?
Get really lucky.
Yeah.
Went out. Get really lucky.
Went out. Steve Lewis says, is Saleh a better DC than Kyle is an OC, not head coach?
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I give Kyle a lot of stuff, because I think there is maybe one person better at designing an offense than Kyle. Maybe. And that's Andy Reid. There's not another person.
Man, I think McVay's better. I don't like the way Kyle has been so focused on McCaffrey. Like, you should be spreading the ball around. You have more players. You have young players. You're not developing anyone young. And plus his in-game adjustments are never good. He crumbles under pressure.
Okay, the only time McVay's offenses have been Kyle's level is when prime Todd Gurley and Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, or Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
I just don't think you could give Kyle a bunch of young players, and like you've given Saleh a bunch of young players, and say build a competent defense or a competent offense. I mean, whenever he goes cheap on offense, it's like, let me get a bunch of 30-year-olds who played for me 5 years ago who know my stuff. It's never like, let me get a bunch of young guys and surprise you.
That's why I would lean.
That's why I would lean Saleh. Although Kyle is very good.
He surprised us against the Rams with a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne, Mac Jones. It's true. It's true. It's a good question, Steve. Too Much Sauce says, do you think Jed York is all in on Purdy or not?
I think the Yorks were the only people in on Purdy. Personally.
Really?
I don't think Kyle wanted Purdy. I think the Yorks wanted to say they have a franchise quarterback. I don't think Kyle wants Purdy, man. I will die on the hill that I don't think Kyle wanted them to sign Purdy.
That's giving Kyle too much credit. I think he did. I think that's why he's playing.
Really? Because so hear me out. I think this entire offseason has been like the front offices, like, no, we know better. Kyle's obviously not getting it done, and they've been making all of these moves this offseason. Like,
we know better. And we have a quarterback, and we don't necessarily need Kyle anymore because we have this incredible quarterback. And
I'm voiding BA. We're voiding BA.
Yeah, we don't need any of that.
Purdy.
Always, because we have Brock.
Mm-hmm.
We
And so
have David Lombardi said that he's the most efficient quarterback in the league since 2022, and we believe his math checks out. We saw the
yeah,
spreadsheets. We looked at the work that he did. He's right. Sorry,
yeah.
Kyle.
And yeah, so in my opinion, I think this offseason has been completely York related. I think I think that's also why Kyle's been starting to do the whole I'm just a coach, even with
Okay,
the BA
let's go
situation.
down the rabbit hole of this irresponsible speculation because I don't know that it's true. But if that's true, do you think Kyle's just throwing out Brock just to show the
Yes.
Yorks like, all right,
Hmm.
you want me to play him? All right, well, 2 more picks. You
Yep.
want me to play him? 2 more picks.
Yeah, I
We think
genuinely do. I think if you hooked Kyle to a lie detector test and you asked him, who do you think gives you a better chance to win this year, Mac Jones or Brock Purdy? He would say Mac Jones.
I don't know. You make a compelling case, and we definitely I can see it, but I just don't. I don't want to let Kyle off the hook, man. He's always in this place where like he really knows the right thing to do, but he just can't do it because people are in his way. It's like
Yeah, it could
maybe,
be. It could. My
maybe,
my only
yeah,
reasoning is just because the front office has done so many things that are obviously not Kyle moves. Where I'm
yes.
like, the Purdy thing seems like the cherry on top. Where Kyle's like, I don't know, and they're like, well, we do know. This is our quarterback.
That's true. Does Kyle ever really want to commit to a quarterback like that?
Yeah,
Does he really?
like
Or
I
does
think if it
Kyle
was up
think like, "Hey, it's my system. I don't you really think it's Brock? I mean, he's
I
good,
think if
but
it was
it's
up
my
to Kyle,
system."
he'd be like, I mean, guys, dude, Curtis works like Matt Ryan. Like, we could probably throw him out there and he'd be just fine.
Don't you think that deep down Kyle feels that Mac Jones is kind of the second coming of Matt Ryan? And that, yeah, Brock Purdy gives you that scrambling element, but the best iteration of his offense was in Atlanta under Matt Ryan. And if Mac Jones, had some time and Julio Jones, like he could do the same thing, I bet you Kyle thinks that.
I genuinely think Kyle wants Mac to be the quarterback. Like, I would not be surprised. And I mean, I know we're probably gonna talk about it a little bit, but I think if Brock Purdy keeps going the way he's going
Yeah,
next
we're gonna talk
year,
about that in a minute.
yeah,
We're gonna get to
they're
that in a
gonna
minute.
grab somebody.
Sucker free 7536 says Grant. Do you think Brock will finally get benched if he throws multiple picks in Cleveland? Which I think he will, and the Niners might lose. I mean, again, they don't necessarily ever have to bench him. They can always say, like,
His toe hurts.
his toe hurts. Guess
So,
what?
and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I get. So this is again along my Kyle line of thinking. I think Kyle's gonna no. This is the guy you guys wanted to sign. I'm gonna keep playing him. And I think he's gonna keep doing it as long as Brock says no, I can go. Kyle's like, okay, you can go. This is along my line of the another war between the Yorks and a head coach because it's not uncommon. We saw them lose Jim Harbaugh over it, so I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
Sean for the win says, I don't know where this Brock was a deep ball guy and Mac won't throw deep came from. I remember the dink and dunk narrative Mac Jones was throwing downfield before he had the B team receivers. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, like people. There was that one clip of Demarcus Robinson being open deep on a post and Mac not throwing it to him. People are like, "This is unacceptable. This
Yeah.
is unacceptable."
Purdy
Brock
wouldn't
will
have
throw
hit
this
it
pass.
anyways. No, he
Why are
wouldn't.
you throwing? Why are you throwing deep to Demarcus Robinson? Why would you do that? He's gonna drop it. So okay, yeah, the throw's there. Brock, can you make it? And the answer is no. Right now, after the game, he said it's a good decision because the throws were there. Yeah, it would have been a good decision for Mac, but not you because you can't make that throw right now. DGTY225 says, have you guys noticed that Brock telegraphs exactly when he's about to pass by reloading, slapping the ball in his hands? DBs have caught on to this.
Yeah, it's his hitch. Everyone, it's a version of Jimmy's happy feet. It's the same shit. It's his hitches.
Also, it's kind of quick, but people don't realize it. Brock extends his hands out like this before throwing, like a baseball player. Mac takes the ball up to his ear and out.
Yeah, it's like Jimmy. It's like Jimmy's
Yeah,
like snap. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and that's because Brock has to work harder to generate velocity because his arms are hella short. Hellish. Look it up, man. Mac has really long arms, so he has that effortless velocity that pitchers have. Brock's like a second baseman out there. Big Tone says both quarterbacks 60.3 rating, throwing to Jennings. Every other receiver 98. Maybe anyone else. DeMarcus Ricky, he'll come back to the ball at least. Yeah, Jawan's been awful.
I will say the last few games he's played with both Mac and Brock, he's been a bit better.
Last few games. Mr. Gonzalez says too many hospital balls, which is why Ricky P isn't seeing action. That'll change when Myles Garrett breaks. Ooh. Don't say
Yeah,
that.
no, I am genuinely scared for Brock Purdy against Myles Garrett, dude. Like that with a hurt toe. This is one of those games where a lot of fans are going to blame Kyle when Brock gets hurt again. He's good.
Well,
I have a feeling. Do you think he's going to re-aggravate the foot? Because I do.
I mean, I don't want to predict injuries, but it seems like very risky. And I think
Yeah.
something people don't realize about Brock this year, he's only been sacked 3 times in 4 games. This defense sacked Geno Smith 10 times last week.
Dude.
So it's unless Kyle calls an incredible game or he never calls a pass or every pass is a screen, Brock's probably going to get hit a lot.
And
in
Jim
this game.
Schwartz tortures Kyle. That dude is like Kyle's literal kryptonite.